What's up guys, it's Bye here. The last time I made a video about equipments was like 6-7 months ago. A lot of things have changed and I also have different perspective at the equipment now. So I think there is a better way for free to play and low spenders to work on your equipment. So I want to share the information with you guys today. This guy is best used for infantry and open field focused players. And most of you guys already know that I am an infantry focused player and I can only provide my expertise regarding infantry equipments. I am not the best to ask for like archer or cavalry equipments, unfortunately. But when it comes to like equipment for infantry, I think I have a lot of like good information and tips that I can share with you guys. So for this equipment guy, I will be breaking it down to different phases based on what equipment you currently have. You can go to the phase that fit your current equipment and you can work your way up from there. So let's go right into it here. So for phase one, these are the equipments you want to get. Phase one is when you just started out the game. You most likely can only run 2 or 3 marches of infantry. So you want to work on 3 sets of the equipment. Try to get them with special talent if you have a lot of gold for crafting. It can be very costly to keep crafting equipments to get special talent. So make sure you have the resources. If you want to go for that extra like 1 or 2% stat boost for the special talent right there. So for phase one, you want to have the iron helmet, a great equipment here. You want to have that cloth gloves as well, also another great equipment. You want to have a 3 green equipment here, which is the infantry breastplate, uh, the ranger trouser here, another green pants, and you also want to have a green weapon here, which is a breastplate. Um, and for the boots, you want to have the Windswept boots if possible, right? Otherwise, you don't have to craft the boots of reverence here, right? You can skip it. Just wait until you have enough blueprint fragments to combine for one Windswept boots here. You can craft the Windswept boots instead. So this is phase number one. So for phase number two, after you got all your marches with the equipments on phase number one, that is when you want to start working toward phase number two here. So this is these are the equipments you want to get for phase number two. So at phase number two, I want you guys to focus on getting more windswept equipment. Windswept set is one of the best sets and most economical for infantry player, right? They can serve you for a very long time. You don't even need some of the epic equipment there, right? So here, this is phase number two gears that I want you guys to work toward too. So you want to get like a windswept helmet here, a windswept breastplate as well, windswept bracer, and with the windswept boost from phase number one, now you're going to have 4 pieces of windswept on your marches. And at the same time, you definitely want to try to get special talent on the windswept gear. But before going into get that special talent, you want to make sure that all your marches going to have the windswept equipment before you trying to dismantle some of the equipment here to try to get special talent, right? Before all of your infantry marches go have all 4 pieces of windswept, do not dismantle anything yet. Until then, you can start like dismantling stuff and recrafting item against. Windswept equipments can be you can get windswept equipment like you can get the fragments very easily from just doing like the sunset cannon every day, doing some of the events for equipments like Golden Kingdom, Shadow Legion, of the events that equipments. Make sure you do them all, and you'll be able to collect enough fragments to craft these item here. As you can see right here, I'll show you guys like I have a lot of windswept equipment on my account, and I do not destroy them even though I could craft like a better equipment here. I am keeping windswept, right? Especially if you want to be like if you want to perform better in Ark of Osiris, you definitely going to need windswept. Even for like later when your account gets stronger. Maybe when you get even like some of the legendary equipments, you are still going to need Windswept equipments, especially for Ark of Osiris. And for me, right after like using Windswept on some of my commanders, I can tell that they can serve you very very well, especially for some of the commanders that are very tanky, that have very good like defense stats, like Richter. Richter here can work very well with Windswept. Charmer Tell also work really well with Windswept as well, right? You don't need some crazy epic equipment here. So you want to get 4 pieces of Windswept. For the weapon, you want to get the Gatekeeper Shield, right? One of the very good item here for infantry player. You can get the fragment very easily as well. I think most of the fragments you can get from the Sunset Cannon attack, I believe. If you don't know where to get some of the fragments, you can definitely go into the blacksmith. And you can look at the item and it will tell you where to get the item. Okay, so for example, for the weapon, if I want to get the gatekeeper shield, right? Click on the blueprint fragment that gonna tell you, right? You can get from the tavern, Soul Crisis, Barbarian Camp, and Barbarian Keeps. So those are some of the so you can get it from the tavern. So the key only. So it doesn't come from attacking in Sunset Canyon. So you definitely had to do some farming, I would say. But I thought I have so many of them. I have 120 of them here. And I don't even do that many Soul Crisis. I don't know. Maybe there are some other events that also gives the blueprint fragments for the weapon as well. But that is one way for you to find out how can you get some of the blueprint fragments for the item. So let's go back here again with the set for phase number 2. So 4 pieces of Windswept here, like helmet, breastplate, glove, and boots here. The weapon is gonna be the Gatekeeper Shield, and for the leggings, I want you guys to try. And get the Karak Humility if possible. It could be very difficult. Especially it depends a lot on your luck, and at the same time it also depends on how high your alliance can go in the Karak events. Like especially if you guys just start out the game, right? Did it phase number 2, so you still kind of like working on a lot of things there. Maybe your alliance is not strong enough yet to do like a Karak like at a higher difficulty, and it's gonna be difficult to get this Karak humility here. But like slowly working your way up there, right? As you can see me right here. I have four. I have about 4 like Karak humility item here, right? Which is not too bad. And I've been playing the game for about like 6. I mean, I played the game for 1,000 days, but the equipments come out for about like 500 or 600 days, I would say. Um, so that is something for you to keep in mind. And definitely, like I do not recommend you guys to dismantle any of the character humility to get so you can craft it again to get special talent. Definitely try to craft. Let's say if you run like three marches of infantry, you definitely want to try to get 3 character humility first before you dismantle anything, because character humility is pretty difficult to get. Unlike Windswept equipment here, you could possibly if you have more like blueprint fragments than the equipment materials you have, you might want to dismantle one of the item and recraft again. That is possible for the Windswept, but do not dismantle character humility here. Very difficult to get this item. So that is phase number 2, right? So if you have 4 marches of infantry, I want you to get 4 of this set on all of your 4 marches. So for me, right, I do not like working on just focusing on one set of commanders and then leave the other set of the commander out, right? So definitely try to like, make sure all of your marches are equally strong with equally good equipments for the open build. So that is going to be your phase number 2. And for phase number 3, phase number 3 is, I would say phase number 3 is after you kind of get like a lot of Windswept equipments on your pair already, and if you can somehow manage to either get some of the accessory blueprint from farming barbarian keep, barbarian camps, or from doing some of the events that gave out the accessory blueprints, I want you guys to start working on the accessory. That is phase number 3. You can either working on if you can get the Dylan amulet, they actually try to get it. Or if you can get the silent trial, they actually get the silent trial as well. Um, that if you can get if you have a time to farm the item, you can definitely try to farm the blueprint fragments, and you can try to combine the fragments, and you can try to craft the accessory here. That is going to be your phase number 3. But you can also get some of the accessory from some of the event. For example, the digging event, you can get the ancient stratagem and the Windscar. So if you want to focus on getting stronger or doing better on the open field, I strongly recommend you guys to work on your instant stratagem. You can try to get it, but like because you just started out the game, I think a lot of your gems are going to be needed for other item. For example, like you want to work on your commanders or you want to work on your VIP, right? So unless you have extra gems, I don't recommend you to get this ancient stratagem right away. But for later, right? You can definitely use your free spin or free dig, right? I think for the digging event, you're going to get that extra 20 or like 30. I think 20 or 30 hammers, right? So you can definitely try to get the ancient stratagem, but it's gonna take time. So that is up to you, right? I don't recommend for like a small players to waste gem on the digging event to get the instant stratagem. But like if you account in a pretty decent state, you can definitely try to get the item here. Instant stratagem can definitely go help you doing better in the open field. At the same time, can also perform better in Sunset Cannon and Lost Cannon as well. I definitely think this is one of the very good item, very economical for like a free to play or low spender players if you want to work on your open field marches. So ancient stratagem, my plan is to get like 5 ancient stratagem on all of my 5 marches. For the future, so far I got 4 already, so I still want to work on for 1 more. So that is the future plan. So this is something you want to work for if you could for phase number 3. You could either get some of the Delayed Amulet, Silent Trial. You can also get some of the cheaper accessory as well, right? The Call of the Loyals, you can get it from KvK. You could definitely use its accessory as well. Mix and match, right? Depend on what you have. You could have that Call of Loyal with a Silent Trial, right? It's a possibility. It's an option there for you. But you definitely want to work on some of the accessory, right? And slowly making sure that all of your markets going to have all the accessories that you could use. You could also use instant stratagem with Delayed Amulet or instant stratagem with silent trial as well if you have the item. Um, but this is going to be your phase number 3. Phase number 3 is the accessory phase. After you got your Windswept gears, after you have all your marches have that right Windswept gear and maybe all the weapon here, maybe 1 or 2 marches with the character humility, you're going to need to work on your accessory because it's gonna provide that a lot more benefit than for you to upgrading your equipments to some of the like epic or like legendary equipments. So definitely focus on the accessory first at phase number 3. So this is going to be phase number 3. What it look like? Ideally, right? You want to have some special talent here for Windswept, character humility, and 2 accessory here for your marches. You could switch it out with Call of the Loyal as well. Cheaper and easier to get in KvK. Okay, so phase number 4 is when you want to focus on some of your commanders that often get targeted on the field, like Guan or Alex. You want to give these commander more defense and additional stats as much as possible. So something you can do is first you can definitely craft the set brutality. You can also craft the frost thread here for those commanders to give them that extra more defense. Right, the epic item are easier to craft here. Um, and next thing you want to craft is you want to craft the hope cloak here, right? So you can see that I am jumping from Windswept breastplates to hope cloak right away. And I'm not recommend you guys to craft the queen soul here. You can craft it if you want, but it's not a must. You can go directly from breastplate windswept to the hope cloak here. And I recommend you guys to craft this item first because it's easier for you to gain the blueprint fragment as long as you keep constantly manage to like be active with like your sunset cannon attack. You can get the hope cloak blueprint fragments from sunset cannons if you keep attacking every day. Sometimes you gotta get that extra blueprint fragments. I think you can also get it from the Golden Kingdom as well. So Hope Cloak is gonna be the item after. So after you get the set brutality, get the first strat here, you gotta go for the Hope Cloak. And after the Hope Cloak, you can go for the Gold Helmet of Eternal Empire after. This item also gain more defense here, so it can definitely help with your squishy commander. They will be able to last longer, especially for when you get swarmed, you can definitely last longer there. Um, so the gold helm of the Eternal Empire, you can get this item from uh the 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 treasure night event, like the egg event. You can get the blueprint fragment from there. So after you got the Eternal Empire, you can replace the Gatekeeper shield with the Shield of Eternal Empire. There are multiple ways for you to get the blueprint fragments for the shield. One way is to play a treasure night event again. I think another way is to do some of the other events that gives the blueprint as well. There is other way for you to get the blueprint fragments. As long as you have the patience for it, you can definitely get it here. Um, so replacing this one. So I am replacing this one with a Gatekeeper Shield. So the Gatekeeper Shield could give me a 10% defense. If I replace it with the Shield of Eternal Empire, I am getting 20% attack instead with that additional 3% defense from the set bonus. So which is 13% extra stat boost in total, which is a very, very worthwhile trade-off right there. Definitely worth it. From going from the Hope Cloak here, right? Hope Cloak, if you don't get the special talent, you get 12% defense. And for the infantry defense, for the Windswept breastplate with special talent here, it's like a 6% defense increase right there. If you can go from the Hope Cloak, if you can go from the Windswept breastplate, here to the Hope Cloak here, that extra 6% more defense. And if you can go from the Windswept helmet to the gold helm of the Eternal Empire, it's 11% defense increase and a 4.5 no a 6% attack decrease, which is still like a very positive trade-off right there. And especially the helmet is gonna help a lot with your squishy most often target commanders right there. So this is what I recommend for your phase number 4. For phase number 5 is the legendary accessory phase. By the time you get to this phase, I am expecting you should be playing Season of Conquest KvK at least like 1 or 2 times already. You should be able to get an accessory blueprint, one of the accessory blueprint in the Season of Conquest shop. You can see down here, right? If you play Season of Conquest KvK, you can buy one of the legendary accessory blueprints. Uh, the blueprints, the accessories, they cost a lot to craft, so you cannot craft them once every 2 or 3 months. That is one thing I can tell you right now. It's gonna take you some time to craft them. So you can definitely try to pick the concealed dagger and the moral wrap here, right? I would definitely think two very very good item to pick to craft for the open build. The concealed dagger gave you a 30% chance to reduce the target health by 5%, stack up 3 times. And the moral reps also have a 30% chance to reduce the target defense by 4%, right? And the march speed of carry unit by 8%, stacked up to 3 times as well, right? So very two good item for debuffing and work really real well with like swarming. So I would strongly recommend you guys try to get the item if possible. Well, one at a time, right? Definitely one at a time here. Get the blueprint fragments. Get the blueprint for the dagger first. Until you can craft the dagger, do not get another moral blueprint, right? Focus on getting the equipment material choice chest here. It can help you to craft the item instead. Uh, So, phase number 5, the legendary accessory phase. I want you guys to start focusing on the legendary accessory, right? But where should you be using the legendary accessory, right? You should be using the legendary accessory on some of your like squishy, most targeted commanders like Alex or Guan Yu. Nope, do not use the legendary accessory on those commanders. You want to use the legendary accessory on your tanky commanders, the commanders that often last the longest on the field. So definitely, I would definitely recommend putting a concealed dagger on Richter or a concealed dagger on Charmatel, possible, right? Or a moral wrap on the two commanders because they often last the longest on the field, and they can definitely be able to provide that debuff more frequently. Definitely, in my opinions. And at the same time, right? For some of the squishy commander, like for example, Guan Yu, right? But you wanna use the accessories that can help him take more damage, can help him tank more, right? So if I want to use like a concealed dagger on my Guan, right? One thing is that I have to remove one of the Dulin amulet here, right? So he's not gonna be able to survive as longer as when I use the Dulin amulet on him, right? And at the same time, he also often get target very frequently, so he die very fast. So you cannot utilize on that debuff from that legendary accessory, right? So you want to put on commanders that last longer. So you want to mix and match your legendary equipments. You want to put legendary equipments that give more defense, more actual stat boost on the pair on the commanders that are squishy like Alex, Guan Yu. But for accessory, legendary accessory, especially the debuff one, you want to put on the commanders pairs that last the longest on the field. So like I don't recommend putting all the legendary equipments all together, right? Unless you have to rally or garrison, that is a different story. But we're talking about like open field here. So you try to like utilize the item as much as possible, right? You wanna optimize, you wanna utilize them to their fullest potential, I would say. So that is phase number 5, the legendary accessory phase. So I am currently in phase number 5 right now, right? As you can see, I do not have a legendary accessory yet. I am working on it, right? I am waiting for this KvK to be done, and I might not get blueprint just yet. I can get one in the next KvK instead. I will be getting the equipment materials just here so that I have more equipment materials, and possibly by next KvK I will get the concealed dagger at the beginning of the KvK. I'll show you guys my how much equipment I have right now to explain to you guys why I'm not getting that blueprint for this KvK just yet, and I'm saving it for the next KvK. So you can see right here, right, I am still missing a lot of equipment materials here, right? I am still missing 20 legendary stone here, about 34 legendary ebony here, right? I don't have them, and another 25. So I'm missing a lot of equipments here for me to craft a legendary accessory, right? So it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense for me to get the it just doesn't make sense for me to get the blueprint in this KvK just yet. Like if I get the blueprint in this KvK, I won't be able to max buy on the legendary equipment material chest here, right? I want to max buy on the item first. And next KvK, I can buy the blueprint. So I can wait for sure. So that is something I want to tell you guys. So I am in phase 5 right now. I am working on my first ever legendary accessory. Um, that will definitely be phase number 6, but I am not there yet, and I can tell yet what would I be doing for phase number 6. Until then, right, until I know more information, maybe after I craft my legendary accessory, I will be able to know more of like what should I be working on next. But as of right now, I am at phase number 5, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do for phase number 6 yet. But like as soon as I know more, like what should I be doing for phase number 6, I will let you guys know. Thanks again for watching the video, guys.